in my journal too many times to be a coincidence, and that's why I talk about this stuff. I would have big realizations like these that are correlated to the concepts I'm sharing. And the next day I would walk into work and I would close a month's worth of business in a day. On a Friday when in my industry that I was working in at the time, no one was even in office. It's a thing. That's the only way I know how to say it. Welcome to Helix Soulful Sales. My name is Bryce. I help sales reps rewrite their limiting beliefs when improving skills and scripts just aren't working anymore. This is all based on my experience of a long sales career, a proven sales career that suddenly I had a lot of beliefs about myself shift almost overnight. And this is the stuff that helped me get not only back on the horse, but go from performance plans for over a year to being a top performer in about 6 months. And today I want to share some of those shifts in mindset and beliefs that helped me. And I hope that they serve you as well. If some of this resonates, let me know what your experience is, maybe what some limiting beliefs that you're dealing with are down in the comments. A bit of context before we get into it. I mentioned that a lot of beliefs shifted almost overnight. Back in the fall of 2021, I had an experience where all of the beliefs and the facades around and kind of the structures that I had built around myself as a person and kind of the persona that I had, life set up a cascade of events that crumbled all of those. We can share the story some other day. I'm a big believer that it is the emotional state that connects us far less than the story does. So when I say I felt hopeless, like I was working 100% effort and still not getting what I wanted and still not seeing the results that I had consistently proven I was capable of over more than 8 years in sales. So I was not just a flash in the pan, hopeful, think better thoughts, get better results kind of guy. I had done the work and I had the skills to do it. The lever just wasn't working anymore. So that's the situation and the context that drove me to look into this stuff. So to share a little bit about some of the mindset shifts and reframing the beliefs that I was holding, the reason that I was doing what I was doing was because I was trying to create an internal sense of safety through external events. If you know anything about psychology, that's not a very healthy place to do things from. And that is really what was the chink in the armor of I was doing the inputs and my reward that I was getting was a feeling of safety. Like I had the proof that I was putting in the effort so I couldn't be fired. A couple questions that helped me was, what are you finding rewarding that is not the reward you want? So for me, I found the validation and hey, wow, you're doing great today more validating and rewarding than I did the actual money. As weird as that might sound. It sounded weird to me when I realized this, but that's what it was. The key to this underlying energy is when you fill your own cup and say, okay, I'm now doing this for me. I don't care if you give me an attaboy or whatever. I'm doing my job the best I know how. And you focus on what you want the reward to be, which is the money, the joy, the satisfaction of driving home after a good day's work. Whether the dashboard says so or not, I want to know that I did a good job. Once I started focusing on that, I made way more money. My inputs, funny enough, still stayed about the same, but I was now no longer fighting myself and wasting energy on an internal unproductive belief system. This is also another massive reason why a lot of guys will say sales is unfulfilling. They're not fulfilled. They don't find joy in their process. Is often, now there's a wide range. Maybe you know what, you're just not built for sales. That's fine. Some people are, some people aren't. But more often than not, it's because you are doing your job from an unhealthy lack place. So when you're getting the reward, it's not rewarding, it's more of a stay of execution than it is a reward. You're like, okay, great. I bought myself an extra 90 days to continue doing something I don't even want to do. It's often not what you're doing, it's how you're doing it and the place you're doing whatever you're doing from. The other thing that I found was I felt so much energy liberated when I quit trying to do things for my manager. When I stopped sitting there and and allowing myself to play the stupid game of click to Salesforce, click back to inbox, click to calendar, just to look productive. When I stopped focusing on what other people's interpretation of my actions were, all of a sudden there became a lot more power in the actions I decided to take, and the calls that I jumped on, I brought a lot more of me to them, and I closed a lot more deals because of it, which is a concept I go way deeper into in my video on the 3 levels of success in sales. So if that's an interesting topic to you, go check that out after this. Another reframe that has helped me is taking ownership of your product. When I talk about your product, I actually mean you. I believe that your employer is buying your best efforts, and it's your job to make sure that you are doing your best every day. Sometimes that might mean doing something that looks unproductive. You might need to take a break, go for a walk, learn your own patterns to identify, am I wasting time and procrastinating, or is this activity going to genuinely recharge me and allow me to get back and hit it harder when I do come back? I would rather waste 30 minutes recharging rather than waste an hour looking productive, uselessly clicking. And to take that one layer deeper, I believe that your entire reality, your life that you are living, is a result of the version of you that you are selling to the universe. That's why you're getting what you're getting, and you're looking merely at the reflection of who you are being. Right there is a nugget that allowed me to, from one day to the next, in my journal, too many times to be a coincidence, and that's why I talk about this stuff. I would have big realizations like these that are correlated to the concepts I'm sharing, and the next day I would walk into work and I would close a month's worth of business in a day. On a Friday, when in my industry that I was working at the time, no one was even in office. It's a thing. That's the only way I know how to say it. So I hope my experience in sales has resonated. Maybe there are some beliefs that you're dealing with that you feel are holding you back. Maybe there are some patterns in your revenue, like I saw, where I would outperform and then I would not close a deal, or I was going very heavy peaks and valleys. I wasn't doing an ebb and flow, which is normal and natural. I was first place, last place, first place, last place. That's not normal. So if you are seeing some of those patterns, I do have a free workshop every Thursday, 2:00 Mountain Time. We have a community discussion about limiting beliefs that we're dealing with, patterns that we're recognizing in our sales, in our career, in our relationships, how they're all correlated, and what we can do to rewrite those beliefs and move towards the life that we want to live. So if that sounds of interest, there is a link in the description below. Otherwise, drop a comment, be part of the community. I'm going to do my best to create a community of other sales guys that know and want to dive more into the power of soulful sales. I'll catch you on the next one.